Hello everyone, this is Jeremy and welcome to episode 2 of Cuboid Outpost. Today we'll pick up from where we left off last time. However, before we get into too much progression, I actually want to do some automation. Right now, in order to smelt this Natarfadium stuff, I'm manually coming to, this chest and taking chunks, and then coming here and taking coal, and then putting them into each of our 8 furnaces, which kind of works, but it's also a lot of manual labor to make one stack at a time, right? And this is I mean, it's okay, but like in order to make one of these not so good singularities, right, I need 5 stacks of it. So yeah, it's a lot of work to make one item, and I would like to automate this process of making just the ingots from the dust or the ore and the coal. However, the problem we run into is we don't really have much that can move items. We don't even have like droppers and dispensers. Really, all we have are hoppers and, well, hoppers and chests. So I guess we'll make a very basic automation system using furnaces, hoppers, and chests. Doing all our item moving with hoppers is going to result in this thing being very large. So 8 furnaces. I don't know exactly how many furnaces one of these resource generators can power, but oh wait, these are also basic furnaces. Let's upgrade them to the next tier. But yeah, we're gonna have one thing producing the ore, one producing the coal. We definitely won't be using all the coal, but also the fact that we're using what am I saying? Hoppers as item conduits or as item movement is going to result in this system having a massive internal buffer, which is probably not great, but what can you do about it? That internal buffer is going to translate into a very long startup time for the system. So the one coal generator here, right, produces 1 coal per, I don't know, 1 coal per, well, 0.63 coals per second, so it's over a second per item. Anyways, and that goes into this hopper that's facing the right, but that gets yoinked from, or this hopper yoinks it first before it has a chance to send it to there. Hoppers will send down before the side that they're pointing, which will send it into this furnace. Eventually this furnace fills up, this hopper fills up, and then this hopper can send the item across the other way. I suppose I could have like jammed 4 of these slots or something else, but whatever, it'll eventually fill up. And then I have to do a similar thing, but I ran out of hoppers. 16 more hoppers to put the item in the top. Yep, this is what life looks like without item conduits. And here it is, all done. Uses a grand total of, what, 5 hoppers per? So, I don't know, each hopper is like, an extra hopper. Each hopper uses, I think it's like 16 or so. No, it's 5 for the, or 8 for the chest plus, so 13. And I don't know, it's like a stack of copper per slice, or of not so goodium per slice of this thing. But hey, it's done now, and now it just has to sit here. Eventually, it'll finish, when this is fully primed, it'll start running 2 at a time. But I can just sit back and wait for not so goodium now. I mean, I guess that's what I've been doing before, but now I don't have to like manually work for it, at least not much. Okay, so let's move on to the next step in progression. We can either go for the next ore and all of its bits, or glass, sand, glass. Let's go over here next. So what is this next ore? Could be better ore. Found in okay, so it is found in the ground, underground, but now, in order to get ingots, you can mine ore, yada, yada, yada. You also know that you can generate the chunks by putting, yeah, so I guess our plan is to get another, resource generator for this could be better ore. All right, there's a lot of text here. We can also use the quantum transmutation chamber that we made last time to get it. So I think if I get some of this ore, I suspect we can run it through the, yep, at 5 seconds per and 1000 RF to get me a piece of ore. At that point, I think it's easier to mine for it, right? If I do this, yeah, that's way too slow. I'm going to need, assuming I crush this gives me, yeah, it's 2 to 1. And if I crush this, well, I can only crush it with a hammer. I get 2, and I need, what is it, like 320 of these? to get one singularity. That's not take way too long in the transmutation chamber. And unsurprisingly, because the quest book told us so, once we get far enough down, let's see, 217 is Natarfadium. 250, so at Y level 215. Wait, is that the no? The second number is Y level. At Y level 34, rather, it goes from Natarfadium to could be better. I assume this trend continues. In fact, we can just read this. Mine it, generate it, and yeah. So I guess there's just like 4 resource tiers, and eventually you get up to the best one. And because you can just produce this stuff for free once you have it, I think we're just gonna try to work through all of these today and get all the way to what is this tier? That'll do. So we go from not so good, could be better, Wikidium? Wait, hold on, what is the pun here? Wikidium. I think I'm parsing the word wrong. What is how does this word parse? I don't know. Mining these tunnels is made a little easier by the fact that, do I want to mine that one? I think it's this one, right? That, the vein miner mod we have, Oryx, or not called Oryx Vader, it's FTB Ultramine, has tunnel mode, so I can just, bam, mine a whole tunnel in one go. And then if I just mine the block above it, it actually gets me a 3 tall tunnels, so I don't hit my head going up and down these. Normally I don't care, but I have to go up and down these tunnels a lot, it seems. Anyways, this is the next tier. Wait, I feel like I didn't read this name. How's that pronounced? Natarfadium? Natarfadium? Why am I having so much trouble parsing these words? I mean, obviously they're not words, but what is ARF supposed to be? Oh, would you look at that? Bedrock. So I guess the tiers only generate up to here. Anything lower, yeah, as it says, you can't mine this one. Anything lower, we have to use the transmuter for. All right, I can live with that. This next step, I'm definitely doubting the necessity of, but I think I'm going to set up another smelter like this for each of the resources. While we can largely replace our use of Natarfadium with whatever the next tier stuff is, I'm sure we'll still end up using it, and then we can upgrade these through the tiers pretty easily. All we have to do is swap out the resource generators to the higher tier ones and the furnaces to the higher tier ones. Each tier furnace gets 1 second faster, by the way. So vanilla furnace is 10 seconds, this is 9, the next tier is 8, this tier is 7, so on and so forth, and I assume eventually it gets down to whatever this one is, 6. Wow. That's how, wait, did I skip one? 7, 8, I don't know. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. That's counting for you. Counting with Jimmy. And thus, a little bit of copy pasting later, we have 3 uneven. Ugh, that upsets me spiritually. Anyways, these are definitely temporary. We'll be tearing them off soon enough. 3 unevenly spaced rows of these resource smelters. I've also upgraded the generators to be could be beta tier. This is the highest tier we can use with plain old hoppers. Anything where at this point the hopper itself is saturated, so there's no sense upgrading. Anyways, that's smelting the first 3 tiers. Now it's almost nighttime, so let's get some sleep, and then we can look into making the tier after. So the next tier we have to generate, and to make this stuff we have to use the quantum transmutation chamber to turn, you know, the previous tier into this one at 4,000 RF. Well, that's probably not that much, right? So let's take the one we have here, perhaps place it a little bit in somewhere that's a little bit easier to access. Wow, that lets off a lot of particles when you break it. And if I need, I'd like to start with about 8 stacks of the resource, so I need 16 stacks of this ore. Thankfully, I can just yoink it directly out. Oh, wow, this generator is fat. Oh, no, I guess it has, like, an internal buffer. And what I'm... Okay, it had, like, backed up in a virtual internal buffer before I yoinked it. But anyways, yeah, I'm going to steal 16 stacks of ore out of this thing. It's also occurred to me that I can manually prime the furnaces here by just giving them, you know, a stack of fuel and a stack of dust. Oopsies. I made a bit extra, whatever. By the time they're actually done smelting the, we can put that there. By the time they're done smelting the dust I put into here, they'll probably, you know, the backlog will probably have caught up and they'll be ready to start actually smelting. So we don't have to wait quite so long to get everything up and running. Anyways, I'm still waiting for enough of this stuff to steal though. With a whole bunch of these chunks in hand, let's see about automating the transmutation chamber, or at least piping into it. I think the quest book said that it takes one input the side, one input the top. So let's put a stack there, put a stack there. There we go. And we're off to the races. All right. So output comes out the bottom, and we just pipe it directly into that chest, I guess. Conveniently placed. There we go. So it turns one chunk into the other. I guess I do need a couple more. As input. I want to make at least 4 stacks of this, so I can make 8 stacks of ingots. That's about how much it takes to really set up, like, get a tier automated to be able to. Come on, this chest somewhere. To be able to make the singularity, and yeah, once you have the singularity of a resource, you can just automatically generate it, right? It becomes easier than this. Now, I am a little curious. Am I making enough power to run this? Probably. This isn't dropping yet. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. So, that should get us... In fact, let's pick up one piece to complete the quest. There we go. And checkbox. Alright, so I'm going to let this run for the next probably about 5 minutes to finish its job. While all that transmutes, let's also upgrade all of these furnaces. Wait, not so good to, yeah, to the higher tier. Thankfully, we have Vein Miner. Unthankfully, it still spills everything everywhere. I guess to get started on mass producing a resource, we really only need 5 stacks of ingots to make the singularity, because you don't actually have to make the resource generator of the same tier. You can use the singularity in a resource generator of any tier. The lower tier ones are just slightly slower, but they're still plenty fast. So this is Wikidum. Wikidium. This is the next tier one, and that's plenty fast. It's much faster than we're generating it here, right? So we can probably even stop this thing. Perfect. So now, once I get a little bit of this stuff, we can run it through the compressor thing, whatchamacallit stuff, the quantum transmuter to turn it into that'll do. And that'll be the highest tier resource we need for now. Something here doesn't seem quite right to me. So this here is the Natarfadium tier resource generator, right? Which according to the quest book says it generates 4 items every 5 ticks or 16 items per second. Ignoring the fact that there is a hopper pulling stuff out of it, this is generating like 2 items at a time, and I don't think it's doing it 4 times a second. In fact, for reference, I'm pretty sure the lower tier one is actually generating things faster. Also, their internal buffer is absolutely massive. So until you get through the internal buffer, it regenerates the entire stack. Right, this is generating... No, it's also... Yeah, it's like the exact same. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it too much. But I think this tier resource generator is lying to me. Whatever shall I do? My infinite and free resources that I cannot possibly use fast enough. Let me sleep. Are not being generated at the rate I was promised. Now, this resource generator, the Wikidium one, does seem to be as fast as advertised. So I guess that one tier is just bugged. No big deal. Anyways, these are the last set of smelters. I'm still waiting, though, for the ore to be transmuted. This is by far the slowest step in the process, right? Because at a bare minimum, I have to make 2.5 stacks. So that's, what, 160 operations. 5 seconds in operation is, let's see, with maths, 500 plus 800 seconds. What is that? 10 minutes is 600 seconds. So like 13 and a half, a little under 13 and a half. I don't know, about 14 minutes. And unless I want to make a second one of these, and this thing is very expensive, there's, right, it uses the, wait, no, not that one. Transmutation chamber. This thing. Oh yeah, we can't make a second one because I don't have an ME controller. Although I guess now that I have this, I can make it. Or 2 redstone. Whatever, we're already almost there. I'm just gonna wait for the last stack. And we're done. That'll do. So, with these, what is it, 5 rows of smelters running, we now have all of our basic resource production. At some point, I'll go ahead and, once I have a bunch of this stuff, swap all the furnaces over to That'll Do furnaces. I realized that I was reading this wrong. The highest tier one is only 3.5 seconds per item, so it's actually quite a bit faster. At that point, I don't think one chain of hoppers can actually power 8, can it? How fast do hoppers move? I don't know. We'll find out. 70 ticks. Hoppers move an item per 10 ticks, is that true? That sounds true to me, which means, one hopper chain can only power 7 of these, but whatever. There's some benefits to upgrading, like the chests. The highest tier chests are bigger. This thing is faster. Thing makes more power, yada, yada, yada. But for now, I'm going to say we have our infrastructure done, barring minor upgrades. So let's move on to doing some logical advancement now. We can make, I guess let's make these things next. Fish paste, sand, and is it sugar? Cellulose, fancy. Let's do sand first, because I think putting a block of, oh, that's actually just completely super easy. So I've been generating this stuff. In fact, I've been making it as silica dust, but we do need to automatically turn it into blocks. I wonder if there's, I don't think we have like auto crafters yet. Can't make this, can I? Nah, it's a ways off. All right, I guess we're gonna manually turn them into blocks. And this dust is just smelted into glass. Easiest quest I've done all day. What's next? And then we can crush it into sand, I suppose. Is that what our, wait, silica dust plus that? Okay, so we can transmute it into sand. Can we use our pulverizer to do that as well? No, we cannot. Here we have our first 14 pieces of sand, although by the looks of things, there is a sand singularity. So if I make, what is that, 2 stacks of it, I can get, you know, a effectively infinite amount of sand. Though I have that queued up in our thing right now. While that crafts, let's look at the next resource. These can be carbon nanotubes. Fancy. I mean, I suppose we have magical resource producers. It makes carbon nanotubes seem a little bit less fancy. Likewise, if I make 96 of these, I get to have another infinite producer. So that's glass and coal. Not quite sure how you make carbon nanotubes from glass and coal, but I'm not going to question it. I was going to make another quantum transmutation chamber to speed up the process, because we could use like these recipes now, right? Which don't use, you know, ME controllers, which we don't have. Unfortunately, this does use, in addition, I mean, if it's just 2 redstone each, I can do it. But the power generator, no matter how you craft it, whether you upcraft it or craft it directly, uses a block of redstone. And while I do have 11 pieces of redstone, I'm a little afraid that I'm going to need to save this for something later. So let's just, I guess, wait for this thing to do its thing. It's almost done with 1 stack of sand. So it has to make the sand, and then it has to make the carbon nanotubes. I guess we can queue it up then to also make the cellulose next. That's water and carbon deposits. So this is just from mining. Unfortunately, I've turned all my carbon deposits into coal, and I don't think I can turn it back the other way around. There is no recipe for this. So I guess I have to go mine for a little bit of carbon, which brings me to my next problem. I'm actually almost out of food. So I've kind of eaten all my food. I have 5 pieces of rotten flesh left and 1 bone meal. Good. So let's take a look on this side. We can make protein paste by transmuting silica dust with rotten flesh. I hope we don't need a lot of this, because again, I have a whopping 5 pieces of it. I could perhaps go pick up the mob drops. I haven't been doing that because I've been sleeping before the mob spawn as much as possible to try to prevent their spawn. But I guess since I need food, I have to let some spawn. Man, the queue in this thing is so long already. I wish there was a faster version of it. Well, nothing to do but wait. I guess I'm just gonna like step away from my computer for 30 minutes. And thus, with the help of time travel, we have our sand and nanotubes. These into singularities. I did upgrade the compressor here. Not that it saves a lot of time, but I mean, free, right? Should have made extra carbon nanotubes. Oh no, it just didn't get taken out of my inventory. Never mind. So you make that, and they make it extremely quickly. Far faster than our hoppers can extract. Oh well. In fact, they're so quick that I probably can just come here and like take what I need when I want it, but whatever. Let's get some of each just put into the ME system so that we have it. Can I smelt this into glass as well? I can. I suppose that's not terribly surprising. As for our protein paste, we can eat it directly if we like. That seems a little wasteful. I thought I had 6 pieces of it. I only had 5. Okay. There's a couple other foods we can make with it. And I guess I'll make one of each just so I get the reward food. But I think what I really want to do with this is make protein fibers. This is what how do I make this? So it's wikidium dust and protein paste make fibers. I think this is used to like bring life to the world. Now, can I make this stuff automatically? I can. Oh, we can make dirt. Nice. All right. So do I have this dust? I can just hammer it. I've been trying to avoid putting too many one-ofs in here because we're almost out of types on our drive. So like my tools and stuff, I should probably, you know, the kitchen counter probably doesn't need to stay in the ME system. But anyways, was this dust and the protein transmute. In the meantime, we can make gruel. Delicious. Give me, so is it randomly 1 to 4? Give me 4. We rolled 3. Works for me. Gotta have some loot box mechanics in the game, of course. Alright, food is full. These should be done. 2 protein fibers. And yeah, the next step is to make dirt, but first we have to make some of this cellulose. So what was that again? Carbon, water, which means we're going to have to go mining. Let's first sleep. Second, we make a new pickaxe. And then we can go mining. I guess we can even make like a less awful pickaxe, right? If I use this and that'll do. Nope, there is no that'll do pickaxe. Really? Also, it is. Now that we did just sleep, though, I'm gonna do a quick lap and pick up some more rotten flesh. Got our sword in case we have to kill some stuff. Hello, spider. Should have seen if there was a better sword as well. The sword kinda sucks. Oh, cool, we can get string. I guess we've known that. I thought we had to make our string through the through this, but nope, we can get it as a drop. What I really want though is rotten flesh. There we go, right at the end of the loop. We got 2 pieces. Good. I have a feeling I'm going to need a little bit more protein paste than we have, but we'll get the rest from another night. So now let's just go get some of that carbon. I wish you could just uncraft the coal for it, but oh well. It's literally going to take like 2 seconds of mining, right? Become carbon. How much did I get? Almost a stack? That'll be enough. So carbon plus water makes cellulose. I'm curious if it uses up the bucket, or if we get it back, or what happens. Worst case, it leaves an empty bucket here. Yep. I guess I have to manually clear that bucket out. Maybe, oh, we have no way to extract the side of the block. That kind of sucks. I'm going to try the other recipe that doesn't use buckets, but instead uses water bottles. I'm hoping that it just consumes the bottle so I can leave it running. Please use up the bottle. Please don't leave me an empty bottle. I don't want an empty water bottle. I don't get an empty water bottle. Good. Our stack of cellulose gets quantum collapsed into a singularity, and then it becomes a lifetime supply of all the cellulose you can eat. With that, we can make... I guess let's start with this one because it's easy to block. Alright. Give me a bunch of this. Turn them into blocks. Need 3 more. Oopsies. Oh, wow, this is like instant place, instant break. It's like scaffolding. There we go. What do we do with it? You can actually use it to build with. Okay. You're going to need blocks of this stuff in the next stage. But to me, we can decorate with it. That's fine. But here is something exciting. Sticks. We're getting close now. The science division nerds. Haha, nerds. They can make sticks out of this. So cellulose plus carbon nanotube equals stick. Is there a stick singularity by chance? There is not. So for now, any sticks we make take like 10 seconds each, because we have a lot. But cellulose, carbon nanotube, make me a stack of sticks. Excellent. What else can we do? Organically enriched sand. That's just a little bit of everything crafted together. All right. Let's crush these bones for the sake of being efficient. We don't need to process that anymore. Which leads to this. I don't know exactly how much we need. We can just craft it as we need it. But that makes dirt, presumably in this as well. Yeah, so that plus our protein fiber, of which we have 1 left after making... Oh no, I have 2 left. I guess let's make 2 of them. Cut a line. Got some sticks. I don't know how many sticks we make. Right now, oh, here. Let's make our stick bundle. We'll just follow the quest book. I'm sure it'll lead us into a reasonable place. A bundle of sticks. A sapling trunk, if you will. Oh, I see where this is going. I see. We're about to make dirt and sapling. So a sapling is block of cellulose plus this. Where is my cellulose? Oh wow, that used entire energy buffer. And I guess we probably only needed 1 dirt then. But this here to me looks like the beginning of creating life. So, an oak sapling. With that, we can now grow wood. Let's get some... Do I have some bone meal left to heat it up? Through the night. Well, I'll go collect, you know, all the bones later. But we can set up a little... Oh, wow, there's a lot of mobs out there, jeez. Set up just a little tree farm. Can we work it? Well, it looks like we can. Huzzah! I made mine with my hands. 4 blocks. Oh, no, it just lists that's all the tree there is. Alright, there we go. Our first tree. And I guess I don't need to make any more sticks because we can just get them as the trees. Perfect. So that completes... you want to 8. Hold on. That almost completes this chapter of the quest book. And... done. So, no rewards. All right. With that, though, we are effectively done with this first chapter. There's some, you know, optional quests that give food, build all the machines, but we'll get around to all of that later. So now we are moving on down. We are going to the Getting Going chapter, which gives us a free kebab. Excellent. This is actually really good food. Does it look like it poisons you? I don't know, whatever. It gives a lot of saturation. So anyways, we've hit rock bottom, and we finally, I feel like we hit rock bottom a little while ago when we recycled our MU controller, but what do I know? Anyways, I guess this is a chapter mostly about ex nihilo to get ores. But looking at the time, I think we are out of time. So why don't we just wrap up here for today? We'll come back next time and begin our journey down the ex nihilo route, start getting some more resources. overall, I'm pretty happy with what we accomplished. This here looks absolutely hideous, but is actually extremely powerful. In fact, I think most of these chests are probably full by now. Yep. Tons and tons of resources. I really love that aspect about this pack so far. You're almost never gated on, at least so far, on raw resources. It's just, using your time efficiently to turn them into more and more useful things. Wow, there's some other quests here that we've unlocked. I'll look at all that later. Oh, what is this one? Oh, this telling you what singularities are. All right. Well, yeah, that's it for today. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.